All us Arkansas farmers voted for the racist part of being Republican, but now he's put us out of business with dumb tariffs. Can we please get a handout from other taxpayers? We're sorry that we voted for this.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Arkansas farmers are taking their own lives because of what's happening to their farms because of Trump's policies.
Now, the problem is President Trump's order to freeze most federal grants and loans has created a panic and uncertainty within the agricultural sector.
All right, now listen. This right here is what we call the find out stage. Arkansas farmers, yeah, the same folks who were hyped up to vote Trump in, are now out here hurting, farms struggling, bills piling up, and they looking around like, wait, how did this happen? But here's the thing, it was all in plain sight. Project 2025 laid it all out. But let's be real, most of these folks didn't read that, and they wasn't trying to. They didn't think this would touch them. Now that it's hit home, they want to come together and cry about it. But see, when policies get passed that sound good on the surface but ain't built for the people, this is what it looks like. So, I want y'all to watch this clip with your eyes open. This ain't just about farmers. This is a warning shot for everybody.
Farmers are making a cry for help before it's too late. Countless farmers gathered to speak to representatives of Arkansas leaders to share the urgency that something needs to be done about the current state of farming.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
Farmers in crisis align way out the door of the Woods Chapel Baptist Church in Brooklyn as hundreds of farmers from not only Northeast Arkansas, but from across the state came to voice their concerns about the current state of farming. Representatives from U.S. Congressman Rick Crawford, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, and U.S. Senator John Boozman's offices were in attendance to hear those concerns. Among those farmers in attendance was a farmer in Woodruff County, Chris King. He told me this was his 39th harvest, and he has never seen it as bad as this.
And I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
For King, the main problem starts with the fact that they can't sell for profit.
I just would like to see somebody help us get our markets back. We need our exports, and we just need to be paid for what we do. And that's not happening. And we're in real trouble.
But that is not the only issue. King's wife, Melissa King, and farmer in Biggers, Arkansas, Scott Brown, said they are struggling to afford the cost that is needed just to take care of the farm.
The prices that we're getting now are prices like they were when we were children, and what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now. I mean, the price of a combine when we were kids was, in the 20,000s, and now it's 100,000.
I farm 800 acres by myself. I can't afford any help. I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. How's the guys farming 5 and 10,000 with 20 hands and $1 million combines and $1 million drills going to make it work?
But for Brown, there is something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing, the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
So, how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke. Nobody wants to lose everything. Long term, we have to have options, markets, and places to sell our product.
Now, the problem is President Trump's order to freeze most federal grants and loans has created a panic and uncertainty within the agricultural sector, which relies on billions of dollars in direct government assistance for loans, disaster relief, and conservation practices, many of which have been around since the days of FDR, and farmers have begun to rely on them. Now, if you've watched the news at all, you know that a federal judge blocked the order on Tuesday. The problem is, and what the media isn't telling you, is that farmers and ranchers over the last week to 10 days have begun to receive letters telling them that the government may not be able to live up to the promises they made in these signed contracts with farmers and ranchers to improve conservation and increase productivity on the farm.
Arkansas farmers are taking their own lives because of what's happening to their farms because of Trump's policies. And it's only going to get worse for farmers because this is all laid out in Project 2025. So in Project 2025, the plan is to roll back all of the protections that farmers currently have access to. Basically, there's different programs. There's crop insurance. There's these commodities programs. And most of these are either subsidized or paid for by the government. So farmers, if a small farm gets hit with, a weather disaster or something else happens where they can't profit off their crop like they usually do, they're backed up. They're safe. They can, float for another year because of these programs. They want to get rid of these programs. They want to take the burden of these programs off the government and put it back onto the farmers, meaning these small farms get hit with one disaster and they're done. Guess who won't be done, though, if they get hit with one disaster? Giant mega corporations, these huge corporate farms that have all the capital they need to float if they get hit with a disaster. They're not going to go under. What they're going to do is buy up all these little farms and consolidate them into these giant mega farms. That's what the plan is. And I know it's easy to be like, oh, these farmers, they voted for this is what they get, but this isn't good for any of us if this happens. I know like the FAFO is delightful, but it isn't good for any of us. And it's scary. Like, these are the people that feed us, that provide our food, and we need them. And it's horrifying to see what they're trying to do to them.
So you telling me you can't operate your farm off of hatred? You telling me you can't grow those crops off of misogyny and bigotry? No, something don't sound right about that. You trying to tell me that you are worried about your generational farm and the future generations of the thing that you built based off the words of a lying, corrupt con man cheat who has a history of being a lying, corrupt con man cheat? That don't sound right. That can't be as simple as that. You telling me that you cannot move your products because a dude with a terrible track record of running businesses, 6 bankruptcies, bankrupt casinos. You understand how hard it is to bankrupt a casino? You took the advice of that guy over the more qualified woman simply because she was a black woman. You took the word of a lying, corrupt con man cheat with 6 bankruptcies over the more qualified and the very, very well legislated Joe Biden? And you're surprised that you have to worry about the future of your farm and saying that you will go bankrupt. And now you want the socialism that you said you hated, that you didn't want students to get, but you absolutely need it right now. You telling me that you can't operate your farm off of mass deportations? Say it ain't so. Say it. Come on, it can't be that simple. Listen, I have zero sympathy for y'all. Absolutely zero. Let me just say this. The fact that you took the word of a lying, corrupt con man, racist cheat with 0 track record of being good at business tells me you got exactly what you deserve. And the craziest thing of all this is that how the hell you sitting up here praying to God when you literally voted for a demon?
Arkansas farmers, I don't understand. Do you want the tariffs or don't you? Because don't vote for them, Arkansas farmers. Don't vote for them, kids. God, I'm trying not to be mad recently. I'm really trying. I'm writing, I'm sitting down, I'm doing it, I'm being calm, but every now and then you gotta step out in the garage because you see horse shit, dumbass rednecks talking about, the tariffs are hurting me, the tariffs are hurting me. 63% of you voted for this moron. In Arkansas, the state, if we looked at white male farmers in Arkansas, I guarantee it's 90%. Golly, I'm surrounded by you idiots. I live in Arkansas. I'm surrounded by you morons. I see your stupid ass trucks. I see your big lifted things with the Trump. Your feelings. I had a neighbor over here. First day I moved in. You know what they've moved now. I'll talk shit on them now. I hope you see it, dumbasses. When they moved in, I saw their damn flag in their garage. It said Trump 2020, your feelings. Hung up in their garage. They come over, talk, oh, hey, we're neighbors, whatever. I already knew who in the hell they were. They were the ones who brought up politics, too. I wasn't even going to do it. I said, well, I tell you what, I couldn't vote for Donald Trump. Giggling, trying to, pass off. Why not? I couldn't vote for somebody that stupid, definitely much stupider than me, and I 100% couldn't do it after I understood he was big buddies with Epstein. Now, besides me disagreeing with every policy he's ever had, I find him personally reprehensible. They didn't really have a response to that. So I know you, dumbasses around here. I know you. I've met you. You don't have a brain in your skull because you hate Mexican people. That's what you do. You hate Mexican people. Farmers. I worked on a farm all through middle and high school. Worked with a lot of Mexican people. Great folks. You're saying it's, well, illegals. Folks who don't have their documentation figured out yet. Okay, so that's what we're worried about. Okay. Where do they work? Where do they work? Primarily. Don't vote against your own interests. And then whenever you win, and it starts happening, you start and moaning. It's the children of Israel. Every time, we want rules, we want rules, we want a king, we want a king, we want rules, we want a king, we want a king. You know what God said? Here's your king. Okay. Y'all prayed for this. You prayed for Trump. You prayed. You wanted him. You prayed. I saw it in your church houses.
I just want to say this. Not the Arkansas farmers. Not majority of people in Arkansas voted for Trump. Not majority of the people that wanted the immigrants up out of here. Not the same people that said they wanted a white-only town. Not the same people that voted for this motherfucker. All I'm saying is this, man. All I'm saying is this. The farmers are showing you what's really going on. All I'm saying is, if we can't operate this world without immigrants, how y'all gonna try to get rid of blacks too? Y'all can't afford to get rid of blacks. Y'all couldn't even afford to get rid of immigrants, motherfuckers. Y'all struggling like a motherfucker, can't fill positions, nobody wants to work. Yeah, man. Y'all got everything y'all deserved. Everything y'all deserved.
Arkansas farmers are feeling the heat. Can't get the money they want for their soybeans. Crying to Trump for help about the tariffs and all this other stuff. We're suffering too, Mr. Farmer. Sorry. But you can't come asking the taxpayers to pay you for your farms. It ain't gonna work. Because we're feeling it too. So, y'all overwhelmingly voted for all this. Or you were lied to apparently, but you wanted it. You got what you wanted. Now y'all going to Trump crying and whoever else you crying to. But guess what? They're not going to come save you. It ain't going to work. Everybody's going to deal with it. Prices up. You can't get the price for your crops you want. We get shit soybeans from China. The whole 9 yards. Guess what? Deal with it, farmer. Because just you're a farmer. Appreciate you. But you can't get special treatment because you're a farmer. I'm a worker. I want special treatment. I can't get it. Deal with it.
And when it comes to the farmers in Arkansas, you gotta hold that, bro. You voted for that. And it's not like we cheering it on, but we cheering it on. We know Monsanto and BlackRock and all them, they're gonna come in and kill the world. We know this. But we gotta revel in your demise first, bro. You voted for this. And really, this could be karma for the past too, but we ain't gonna get into all that. But hey, wait, I just wanna know. What happened to all the Make America Great Again hats? What happened to it? I know when you had to throw that hat out, they was probably mad as, yo, bro, imagine that feeling. Imagine, like, I got things tatted on me that if I had to remove them, I thank God I don't have to remove them, but if I had to remove, I would feel terrible. And somebody gonna be like, the hat ain't same as a tattoo. Shit, the way they was rocking them, the way they was rocking them, might as well been a tattoo. And really, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them did get tattoos. Make America Great. I know one of them got a Donald Trump tattoo right now. Stop playing with me.
Say, farmers, we don't care. We don't care. We're not dumb. We understand how farming works. We know y'all don't send no food to California or Arkansas. I know that for a fact. I know that. You guys doing commodities. I know that. We don't care. You guys didn't care about us. We don't care about y'all. Why is that hard for y'all to understand? Arkansas farmers. You guys all had your MAGA gear on. Now you got your hands in your face. You can't believe what you did to yourself. To yourself. Who you mad at? Who you mad at? Don't be mad at us because we don't want to open up our wallets and give you some of our hard-earned money. No. We're tired of doing that. And if my representative signs off on anything to help the damn farmers, we're going to run their ass out of office too. We're done. I would say most Americans are done. You go ahead and put your MAGA gear on and go cheer around, blow your horn with your flag on the back of your truck. Just lift it. Tell us to go back to where we came from, even though you stole everything you got.
Listen to me. Racism is the poison in Arkansas soil. That's right, racism. Last week, hundreds of Arkansas farmers stood in a room and broke down in prayer in front of their elected officials. They weren't praying for rain, guys. They weren't praying for sunshine. They weren't even praying for a bumper crop. They were praying because their farms, their family land, their way of life is collapsing under tariffs and trade wars. And here's the truth. Those tariffs, that trade war, that whole playbook was born out of racism. Farmers were told the story that punishing foreigners would make America strong again. They were told to clap when leaders wagged their finger at China, Mexico, or whoever else they decided was the villain of the week. They were told it was patriotism, but really it was racism dressed up in red, white, and blue, and farmers bought it. They cheered it. They co-signed it. And now they are the ones paying the bill. Look at soybeans. Without tariffs, U.S. beans leaving New Orleans are cheaper than Brazil. But with tariffs, suddenly Brazil is winning. And who did that? Not God, not nature, not fate, your own leaders waving a racist flag and calling it strength. And the farmers who clapped for it are now on their knees begging for help. This isn't the first time. History is packed with proof that racism bankrupts the very people it fuels. Jim Crow didn't just brutalize black citizens. It strangled the Southern economy for generations. Segregation didn't just rob black kids of opportunity. It robbed the entire South of progress, creativity, and prosperity. The Chinese Exclusion Act of the 1880s, it cut off immigrant labor that helped build America, leaving industries starved. Japanese internment during World War II, well, that destroyed businesses, farms, and families, and the whole economy bore the cost. Every single time America lets racism drive policy, the poison spreads. It never just hits the target. It always circles back. And now here we are again. Farmers in Arkansas prayed out loud last week because they're broke, and they know it. And some of them voted for this mess. Some of them cheered when the tariffs went into place because they thought it would put others in their place. But you can't hate and expect to harvest prosperity. You cannot poison your neighbor's well without eventually drinking from it yourself. So let's call this what it is. Racism is the poison in your soil. It's why your crops can't compete. It's why your barns are empty. It's why you bowed your head in front of men in suits who don't care about you at all beyond your vote. Racism doesn't just starve the people you think are your enemies. It starves you. Arkansas, this is your wake-up call. You can pray all you want, but you have to face the truth. Nothing changes unless you do. Racism isn't strength, it's weakness. It's not power, it's poison. It's killing your farms, your family, and your future. Please wake up.
Mexico and China are the two biggest rice buyers for the United. They buy more rice off of us than anyone. And when they stop buying rice, we have nowhere to go with the rice. It won't be a trickle-down effect. It will be like flushing a toilet if the ag industry collapses. Totally 100% dependent upon the Lord Jesus Christ. I surrender it to Him.
No, you simple f***. If you were leaving it in the Lord's hands, you wouldn't be asking for a handout. You literally voted to not feed the hungry. Jesus doesn't f*** with you. But before we go any further, I must address the MAGA idiot in the room. Katrina, yes, I do believe that food grows on trees. Say the illustrious apple, for one. I am very concerned. Katrina, the brilliant horticulturist, made this comment because I said, does money grow on trees? In response to the Nebraska farmers who are begging for a check. The American taxpayers bailed them out the last time that freak was in office, and we don't want to do it again. They should have planned better. They should find those bootstraps and pull them real hard. And how are the Americans going to eat? These are cash crops we're talking about. corn, soybeans will be fine. This is food that is exported out of the United States. They said they wanted U.S. aid gone, right? Where the f*** do their excess crops go? To feed the hungry via U.S. aid. They made themselves redundant. They are so stupid. This is what being a hateful f*** does. They need to learn a lesson. They can't get bailed out every time they f*** up. Maybe farming just isn't for you. If you can't survive without government assistance, like the welfare queens that you are, perhaps this is the wrong line of work for you.